Another case, 9370, another AC. Got the Cummins N14 in it. And looking at the wiring here, all you guys missed was I just cranked the machine up, verified AC is not working, and warmed it up to about 100 degrees. Look at this hack wiring we got here. And this runs all the way around. Apparently, the repair was if you want AC, you take this alligator clip right here and you touch it to the hot side of the start solenoid here. So I see stuff like this a lot from techs that either don't understand how the AC works, but we're gonna get into it and check it out, see what's going on. Check it out. All I did was unplug this connector. This goes to the clutch. Test light lights. Test lights looking for power. We got it. So we know so far all this stuff is good. The compressor clutch is the last thing to get power in the circuit. So everything to this side of that clutch all the way back to the key switch is good. Now I guess just to start off, we're gonna undo all this hack bull crap. We're gonna get rid of all that, put it back to factory, and then we'll troubleshoot the root cause. Why did they put this hack wiring in there? Maybe this is a repair that's already been completed, maybe in the shop or something, and they just left this wiring. Alright, so all I've done was undid their wiring, put everything back to factory. Test light is lighting up. Key is on, fan's on low. Look at our rest pressures here. A little low in my opinion, about 60. But it is quite cold out here. I mean, I'm still wearing a freaking jacket and beanie right now. Sun's not out all the way yet. Let's crank it up, see what our gauges do. So far, everything appears to be working. See our pressures? I got the test light in here. You guys aren't probably going to be able to see it, but it is cycling. The test light just went off. And then the test light will kick back on. So far, everything appears to be good. Let's go in the cab and check the temperature in the vents. That's our ambient temperature right there. Let's see what we got coming out of the vents. About 47, 48 degrees coming out of the vents. Again, it's a cool morning right now, and this is with the AC on low. Something else to pay attention to, guys, when the AC is running on low. When the compressor, I had the test light on here just so you could see when the compressor was cycling. So when the compressor turns off, you can keep an eye on your pressure differential between the high and low. And you can see how fast they try to equalize. So if they're, I mean, you want there to be a delay. It shouldn't immediately equalize in just a few seconds. I mean, if that's the case, then almost like somebody deleted the orifice or something, it wouldn't work very well at all. Or if it cuts off and the pressures take forever to try to start to equalize, that would also indicate that maybe your orifice, or if you have a thermal expansion valve, that it's plugged with debris restricting flow. I didn't see any of that in this case. So far everything's working good. We're going to get some heat shrink, unpin this from the connector, and correct that right there. But I believe this tractor is good to go. Well, here's our wiring after the repair. You just put a Deutsch connector on there, 2-pin, so it can be easily disconnected. Should have brought this up before I started the tractor. We're gonna, the correct way to unhook our gauges, we're gonna turn the high side off on the compressor, open up both on the gauges, and let the low side pull all that extra refrigerant into the system. All right, here's where we're at, guys. I hooked up the bottle and hooked up my yellow hose to the gauges. I opened up the bottle so I could fill that line, and I hit that little check valve right at the gauges there to purge as much of the air out as I could. Now I got the bottle closed, and now this is going to be, I'll show you the correct way to unhook your gauges so you have minimal refrigerant left in them when you disconnect them from the system. Turn your high valve off at the compressor. You're going to open your high on your gauges. You'll see it in the window. It's going to fill up with liquid. Now you're going to crack the low and let it pull that into the system. You got to be careful doing this. You don't want liquid to hit the compressor. It should only be vapor. Okay, it's all the way open. We're going to let the low pull down as low as it can, and then we're going to close the low up here. One more thing, guys, these gauges are off just a little bit. Take this plug out of here, that little screw is so you can re-zero the gauge to correct it, like if it gets dropped or anything like that, so you can put it back at 0. A lot of people don't know you can do that, and then if you have the little plug, just put it back in there. It's good to go.